They're traveling from northwest to southeast, even back into Douglas County, now trying to drift into portions of Coweta County. That's where the snow gets a little heavier than the lighter snow that's sort of surrounding it. And there's been this pocket here in the northeast metro that has definitely had a minimum of snow, but then it picks right back up again in this heavier band. This one's been pretty persistent, that originated near Lake Lanier and is now kind of shifting more over Walton into Morgan and Jasper and Putnam counties, right on the line there. That's going to boost the snowfall totals in those areas where it's happening, and that's just putting it in motion so you can see the direction that is heading. Now I'm going to switch it to this radar view because this will do a better job of picking up on even the lighter snow in surrounding spots, and it's pretty widespread, extends back into Alabama. The temperatures are critically important here, though, because this means that road conditions can go downhill fast, and they have where snow has been accumulating, but it's also just so bitterly cold out there with wind chills already into the single digits in some spots. Also be aware when the snow gets heavy, visibility is really reduced. It's only a mile in several locations in northeast Georgia. That's going to be something to be mindful of as it fluctuates throughout the day. We're going to still hold steady on storm total. This is not additional snow. This is accounting for what's already fallen and what will continue to fall, that our highest amounts will still line up to the east of Atlanta with lesser amounts back to the west. But there's a lot of ground to cover here, multiple pieces of the puzzle as we get through the next 36 hours. Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Alex Forbes and I will have another update for you coming up in a few minutes. Tom and Alex.
Gosh, we know how to keep you guys busy. Thank you, Joanne. We do want to check in on the latest wintry conditions in Dahlonega, where I don't know if you've been paying much attention, you guys, but it sounds like they've been having a lot of fun up there. Kevin Stewart is live.
Too much fun, Alex, for sure. The last time we spoke, about a half hour ago, I told you the snow was beginning to ease up. Well, it's picking back up again. It's been quite interesting experience. The projection here was 3 to 6 inches. I can tell you we definitely have 3 inches. Take a look at the roads here. You can see it's begun to get very slushy out here. We have had students from the University of North Georgia coming out here, hanging out, having a good time today.
The Norman Rockwell-esque scene happening behind you there in Dahlonega.
Currier and Ives.
Beats the ice, right?
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Let's check in now with Kim Luffler, who is live for us in Blairsville this morning.
Oh, yeah, Kim. I saw you were making some snowmen earlier. Gosh, you've got a nice blanket behind you.
Hours now. We're not seeing that fluffy snow that we saw a little bit earlier this morning, but you can still see the snow is coming down at this hour.
See some of the asphalt there. So it's nice to just do a pulse check in each different locality. Kim, we appreciate it. Thank you. And speaking of a pulse check, let's check back in with Fox 5's Angelique Proctor, who's up in Commerce.
Yeah, Angelique, what are the conditions like where you are? Looks like the snow's coming down pretty good up there.
I'm very pleased with the snowfall. It's gotten to be quite beautiful. I got off to a slow start as I was looking at my colleagues, but things are really looking nice here now in Commerce. I want you to take a look. When my photographer and I arrived about just before 5 o'clock, there was nobody on this block. Now look at all of these cars. So I'm wondering, where are they going? Well, it turns out there's an Sam Dugway.
So a round of applause for those people for being so dedicated. I'd be snuggled up with some hot chocolate and talking about this with family.
Absolutely.
But like Blairsville and Dahlonega, pretty scene behind you there in Commerce up I-85 up to the north and east. Angelique Proctor, thanks. Want to get out to Ray Arena now, who took the Fox 5 Storm Chaser up to Gainesville.
Yeah, Ray, let's see. How is it looking?
Well, it's looking like there's plenty of snowflakes out here. I just measured it a little bit with my thumb, and I can estimate that we've had about 2.5 inches of snow so far. Now, Tom, I know we're both from South Florida. We've spent plenty of time there. This is my first attempt at a snowman. I don't know. I was trying to wave at him. I tried to put the other arm on there, but it seems like that middle block is a bit too solid to add another leaf on there for the other powdery stuff into what you see here.
Well, that's the unintimidating snow. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, we like the one-armed.
It's definitely what we like.
One-armed snowman with the little leaves as a hand, and we'll give you some time. We'll check back in with you to work on that, Ray. Thanks. Well, we've been getting a ton of videos and pictures coming in from all over the
A duck from Georgia named Jamal. What do you have for us this time?
Okay, so our viewers are hilarious. Let me set this up for you before you see it. Someone was showing us just how much ice has accumulated in Roswell. We wanted to see the measurements, and so they sent us this. You guys, I hope you get it. Shout out to Kyle from Roswell, who has a good...
Is just the constant roar of the trees up above me, and it's really a peculiar scene out here because the wind is obviously blowing, it is dirt cold, but it's also sunny and it's flurrying. So this is almost reminiscent of, actually Joanna and I were talking about it earlier, somewhat of like hurricane rain bands. You get a quick squall of rain, or in this case snow, and then you get the sun for a second, and then you're right back in.
They have dropped throughout the morning. They're not moving up. If anything, they'll be moving down. And with temperatures already in the teens and the winds as strong as they are, the wind chill, even in the afternoon, is going to be brutal. Single digits dropping to some below zero numbers overnight. All right, allow me to geek out for a moment and revisit something we were talking about earlier this morning, because I'm encouraging you, while you're sharing all of your great winter weather photos, a fun thing to do is actually, if the snow is falling, try to capture a snowflake. Maybe if it's only on your sleeve, and you can get a good picture of it and see the different structures of the snowflake. It's always fun to check it out. But Fox 5's Kevin Stewart sent me this picture earlier today from Dahlonega when he was out there. And he was questioning, why did the snow have sort of this lint or insulation kind of texture to it? And this is just an interesting example of how the temperature and the humidity from the cloud through different levels of the atmosphere ultimately affects the structure of the snowflake and what you get on the ground. So we typically see those classic snowflake shapes. Those are called dendrites. Those are going to be the brighter shades that you see in here. But you see these little lines here in the snow picture that he sent me? Those are needles and columns. And so those are kind of mixed in, and that requires some drier air to make those form. We've talked a lot about this being a drier, powdery type of snow, and that's why it's giving it sort of a different texture here, allowing it to blow around, and thankfully not allowing it to really accumulate much on tree limbs to where we have to worry about that causing power outages. On the flip side, though, the wind could continue to create a few scattered power outages here and there. Here's a closer view of the snow in motion, that band that's been heavier from eastern Gwinnett County now dipping down into Morgan and Putnam counties. There's a little break right there. And then we've got the heavier bands still ongoing here out to the west. Notice this right here into North Fulton County. We're going to watch this snow start to fill back in. Some of these areas that really feel like they've missed out so far, there is more on the way, which will keep us under our winter storm warning until 1 a.m. Sunday. Winter weather advisory. That will actually wrap up at 7 o'clock this evening, only because we're expecting that snow will taper off a little bit earlier in those locations. But we're still on top of the changes out there for you. We'll bring you another update in just a few minutes. Tom and Alex.
Joanne, thanks so much. We're starting to see snowfall right here in Metro Atlanta.
Gosh, it's about time. You know, we've been waiting for this. Deidre Dukes is at Piedmont Park. Deidre, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good morning, Alex and Tom. Well, I tell you what, we still have people out and about, even though, as Joanne said, we have seen temperatures drop out here within the past half hour or so. And boy, the wind has really picked up. And you can see a family making their way to Piedmont Park there. And we've seen a lot of this out in the area here at Piedmont Park. People walking their dogs, all bundled up, getting that exercise in. I've even seen people running, and some folks that just have shorts on, if you can believe that. As chilly as it is out here today, shorts and short sleeve shirts, but they do have their gloves on, so at least they're keeping their hands warm.
Jump in.
Georgia, I've got family
Exactly.
in Chicago. I totally understand being made fun of for this.
Yeah, well, I'm from South Florida, so I don't understand any of it.
And it's okay.
Georgia, thanks
Well,
so much.
we need to get you out here so you can make some rankings too.
Yeah, it looks
Takes
like
all
fun. Maybe we'll come out. Thanks, Georgia.
Faucets dripping if you have to, because our best chance of seeing above freezing temperatures area wide is not until Monday afternoon. Let's go through this right here. The combination of temperature and wind chill. It'll drop into the teens tonight in the Atlanta area, but we wake up around sunrise to numbers near zero, some sub-zero numbers, even farther south. Eatonton could have a 6-degree wind chill first thing in the morning. So naturally the question question is, when do we really thaw out? Well, we do get an opportunity next week. Tomorrow, not so much, but we will have sunshine out tomorrow, and that's going to start to melt through things, knowing that these snow showers are going to taper off from west to east by late afternoon and early this evening. So even overnight tonight, the clouds are going to start to clear, which will leave us not only sunny for the second half of the weekend, but also Monday on Groundhog Day. Now notice, we're still below freezing to start that day, but we'll bounce back up to 48 in the afternoon. We've really lost sight of what is normal for temperatures this time of year. That would be mid-50s. We actually have that in our extended forecast. We'll get there for Tuesday and Wednesday, so that should mean we're warm enough for only rain with that next system for the middle of next week. Tom Alex.
All right, Joanne, thanks so much. Before we leave you here on this extended version of Good Day Atlanta on a Saturday morning, I want to take you live outside for another look at conditions as we track this wintry storm that is passing through our area yet again this weekend as we take a live look at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. So far, no reports of any significant delays out there, but as the snow kind of rolls in, we might start hearing just that. We're continuing to monitor the situation there.
We're going to keep our fingers crossed. Take a look at the roadways now. You can see that there is tracking it all. We just handed the baton over from Alex Forbes and Joanne Feldman, giving the floor now to Jonathan Stacy. Good to see you.
Good afternoon to you, Alex, and good afternoon to you, Tom. For many of you, you have seen flurries, and for some of you, you have seen the accumulation of snowfall over the past 6 hours. Here's the good news. If you're still wanting to see some snowfall or you want some accumulation, the window of opportunity is still there. The system was delayed by some 3 to 4 hours in it moving into North Georgia, and with that delay, we're going to experience the opportunity for snowfall even as we get into the late afternoon and early evening hours. Looking at temperatures across the area, everybody everywhere is below freezing, but not only below freezing, but below 30 degrees, 25 in Atlanta. Go over to Carrollton to actually occur there. There are some bands out to the west that could possibly slide over your neighborhoods before this is all said and done. We'll track that as we get deeper into the hour. Alex, Tom.
Okay, Jonathan, we will check back with you very soon. We appreciate you watching our entire area for us. We do want to focus on some live images now and get a sense of what things are really doing in real time. So let's turn things over to Newton County.
And that is where we find Christopher King. We've had a changing of the guard. Christopher, with our reporters, you are providing perspective from there. It doesn't look too bad where you're standing.
Well, Tom and Alex, I really want your assignment today. So far, it's just really cold out here, and so far so good. Take a look over here. This is 278 near Emory Street in Covington. Roads were clear on the way over here.
Or metro section, but when you look north of Metro Atlanta, there's been plenty of snow out there. Think Gwinnett County, Dahlonega. So I'm seeing some of you guys' comments on our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel, and some of you guys are saying they're blowing it out of proportion. You just stay tuned because we do have quite a bit of snow out there, just not where Christopher King was.
Let's get out to Rob DiRienzo. Maybe he has some snow for us live on 316 in Gwinnett County. Rob, how about that? Quite a different scene than what we just saw from Christopher King.
Yeah, guys, maybe I have some snow. It's blowing in my face. It's all over the place. And I thought the same thing as I was leaving Midtown a little while ago. Where's the snow that we were talking about? I drove up 85.
Trying to help people and get that traffic situation resolved. Rob DiRienzo live for us off 316 in Gwinnett. Been getting a lot of...
And make the commitment to strip down and jump in a pool. I'm putting you on TV, okay? That's a sure way to show up here. So we begin with a polar plunge incoming. I love this. Chelsea